Okay, so the most recent one that truly impacted me was in 2012, January 5th of 2012. I was in my car and I got hit by an SUV. My car was small and it kind of moved around the road a few times before it stopped on the side of the road. But while all this was happening, I found myself where my soul was coming out of my body, and it was like a suction, that it felt like a suction coming out of my body. And then I instantly found myself above on this, for lack of better words, it was a space, like a room, but the walls were made out of this incredible white light. And it was so loving. And in this room, I was faced by a very ornate table. And behind this table, this curved table, like a half a moon shape, were 9 entities. I actually found myself counting them because at first I thought it was 7. So there's 9 entities. And I knew instinctively that the one in the middle somehow was the decision maker. The others were there to kind of, even though I was far away from them because I was on the other side of this table, it felt like they was just embracing me with this the most incredible feeling of infinite love. And I was very emotional. I said, no, I can't leave yet. I have so many things to do on the earth yet. And it felt like at that moment, I knew exactly what the things that I was supposed to be doing were, but I don't recall all of them after I came back from that. Okay, so I instantly felt and saw these entities, but they were wearing these light brown capes. And all I could see, I couldn't see their faces because their faces was this bright light, but they were wrapped in these capes. And I knew that they were wearing these capes for my purpose. So I could be aware of how many there were there. There were 9. And I didn't find out who they were until many years later. Actually, just a few months before I finished writing my book, that who they are, what their names are, and all that, what their function is on the other side, as far as how they help us. And so I heard, okay, and then I found myself again, instantly back into my body, again, like a suction back in instead of out. And that's when I started to feel the pain. The smell was awful because the airbag in the car had exploded. And it was an awful odor that was coming out of there. But interestingly enough, when I was above, I could see the people around the car. They were coming around. I could feel that some were curious and some were actually concerned about me, whether I was still dead or alive. And when I got back into the body, I could see these same people down there. And it was the most amazing thing because when the ambulance came, they checked me and they wanted to send me to the hospital, and I didn't want to go, and it was very emotional. But I don't know how else to continue with that. I finally did end up going to the hospital, and I had no broken bones, which again, it was a miracle because the car was totaled, and I got hit on the driver's side. And while in the hospital, they took a test and all that. There were no broken bones, but I had black and blue marks all over me. and the pain was just unbearable. They started to give me medication through the IV and all that. And then they send me back home so early in the morning. And it was a very painful situation, but I still wasn't clear because I knew instinctively, I knew that there was more information while I was up there, but I couldn't remember it. And so later I made an appointment with someone who does regression, but not past life regressions, that regressions in a way that you can go back to a traumatic time and find out more, which I did do that. And it was quite interesting because I learned a lot more about that. On all the details about this, I placed in the book. And actually the chapter of that situation, I called it the miracle car crash because it's exactly how it felt to me. There was no way, looking at that car, no one could possibly have thought that the person in it would still be alive.